Hey!
Hey!
Wait. Are we not live? There we are. Yeah, we're live. Wow.
We are live.
That was weird. It started counting, but there was no actual video. So let me just
sketchy.
check your levels there.
Lava.
All right, you're a little hot.
Lava. I'm always a little hot.
All right. Haha, that's peaking. So I gardening for the wife. I had to build a box.
Oh, I love building them boxes.
Oh, the pain in the butt. I don't
Like a planter or like...
Yeah, well, no, like a garden box, so a raised bed. So I did an 8x4-foot bed, built out of cedar, which cost me a pretty penny.
Especially these days.
Yeah, no, lumber is ridiculous. I was looking at some lumber because I'm redoing the desk for Dark Corner Studios, and I'm going to be doing one that goes wall to wall, which is about 12 feet, 10 to 12 feet, somewhere in there. And I was looking at maple, and maple for one 8-foot 2x6 is $230 for a single piece of maple. So that would cost me about $1,000 just to do a desk.
Gross.
Yeah, not a big fan of that.
Not a fan of them apples.
How's everyone doing today? We got 2 people in so far. I am sore and exhausted. I have not gotten a good night's sleep this week, and
No, me neither. I had that weird thing on Monday where I woke up and my back for the whole day was just all messed up. God,
Yeah.
I miss being younger. But like, and then for the entire week, just every subsequent sleep since Monday. I think last night's actually was okay, funnily enough. But the rest of them have all just been like, I can't move because my back keeps locking up.
yeah, no, that's Advil, buddy. That's what
With
it's meant
Adil.
for. We got 1 viewer. Wow, this is a slow take for a Friday.
Actually it's actually me this time because I wanted to try something different this week so I could actually watch the chat and respond and not have you read everything to me.
You are the 1 viewer. All right, so we got.
So this is basically us just hanging out.
Yeah, we'll give it a few minutes there. Other than that, no, it's been more or less like usually I'll grab a nap sometime during the week. But I took Monday off because last weekend was just a absolute mess. And I jumped back into work on Tuesday. And then by the time I hit Friday or today, I didn't get a chance to have a nap because I had too much stuff to do. So, hey, we got a second viewer, and other than you,
It's not me. No, I joined on my laptop.
Then they like exited once again.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
this
like,
is fantastic, man.
This is great. This is the best Friday.
I wonder if the stream is just not working.
Well, I mean, it must be because I'm watching it.
Oh, okay, so it's working.
Now, I didn't get like did I get a? I don't think I got a notification.
You know what? I honestly think maybe it's because you're too dressed up and you're not looking enough like Trevor from GTA 5. That's
No
my
Trevor
thought.
vibes.
Yeah, you need more.
No, well, if I I'd have to go strip down to the bra if we were gonna go Trevor vibes.
The bra.
The braj.
So I guess we'll just start this out for people that are going to be watching this after or going to be backing it up. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. First thing I want to do, and this is the title that we'll get to immediately. That first title is Why You Need to Clean Your Microphones.
Yeah, get them grungelies.
Get
them grungelies out of
Let
there.
me get my SM7B for the story.
Oh no! Oh no! No!
So, wait.
No!
My SM7B that I bought off my son, it was his. He got it for a graduation present because he always wanted an SM7B, but he had the Behringer 22 stupid interface. It didn't really work all that well.
So who did he get the graduation
We bought
present
it.
from?
We bought it for him for graduation.
And then you bought it off of him.
Well, here's the thing. He wanted an SM7B the whole time. I did the video on the MV7, and the MV7 cost about 250 Canadian, I think it was.
Something like that. Yeah.
So I basically said to him, I'm like, hey kid, do you want? Oh no, it was 350. Sorry, it ended up being 350. So I'm like, kid, do you want the SM7B or do you want me to drop you $150 and you get the MV7? I'll take the SM7B. And he needed money at the time. And so he sold me the SM7B. Now this is the nose for the SM7B. You can tell it's not too clean. The front of it. I know Dylan can't see this right now, but the front is just like...
I will in a sec because I'm watching the stream and it's
it
laggy. It
looks nasty, the front of this SM7B.
There's like hairs and stuff on
Oh,
there.
it's not just hairs. It's got this yellow sediment on it from...
Ew.
Yeah, you can see that, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of gross feeling. That's from his mouth.
Ooh.
That is just like, and I hardly ever use this mic. I only use it for doing the odd video here and there. On the inside, you can't really see that because you got a window. It's covered in cat hair on the inside. Like it's
inside.
just... Oh, here, actually, I'll turn it inside out. The cat hair has worked its way through. And so let me turn this inside out so you can actually see the outside of it. See that? That's on the inside of the nose for the SM7B. That is all cat hair. And I don't know what he was doing with this. He used to be right back behind me where the window is. He had that room
Why is
closed
it all
off.
Like it looks deflated? Why is it all squished?
Oh, 'cause it's
you
inside
flipped
out.
it inside out, right? Okay.
Okay.
I'm following.
So he had this right behind me in a room, and he wasn't the cleanest kid. Not going to give him credit for that. And I had never opened up the SM7B, but I wanted to get a new nose for it because this is just gross. Like it's nasty.
Yep.
So I pulled it off thinking, oh, maybe I'll clean this out on the inside. Well, this part of the SM7B, you notice how it's clean right now. It's got a little bit of hair up on top, and you'll see this in a few seconds there, Dylan. But this cone was full of hair.
Oh god.
There was
just the grill was just
the
drenched in hair.
I was pulling it through the actual little holes, and it just kept coming out, and it came out in one wad. It was more than a handful of hair
That's disgusting.
in this SM7. I don't know what he was doing with it. Like you had,
Well, I get, if it's cat hair, maybe the cat was just having a time with it.
but I guess maybe the cat was up on the desk sometimes rubbing up against the microphone or
There must have been a
something.
lot of rubbing. Like that's an alarming amount of rubbing.
Like it was ridiculous. It was all the way down to the capsule with hair in it.
Ugh.
And so if you have pets, and I've actually gone through all of my microphones and I've disassembled and gotten them kind of put back together. If you have microphones with pets, go through and just clean them. Just take them apart. They're not hard. The SM7B only has these three little screws on it that you pull off, and it basically the back end just drops right off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty simple to take apart and do what you need to do. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but now that it's clean, it sounds a whole lot better too. It was basic. I had like a pop filter on it of cat hair.
Yeah.
As gross as that
I was gonna
sounds.
I was gonna make a joke about you had he just decided to do his own DIY.
I can't even imagine the amount of energy it took to stuff that thing full.
Oh my god. Well, again, and it would have been like passive energy. Like it's not like at
Hair
least to our
cuts
knowledge.
excessive high frequencies. Yes, it does. And you know what?
Yep.
That's the one thing I got to say about having the hair in there. The difference is I actually have to use a de-esser a bit on this mic now. When I go into EQ, I drop down the high frequencies a bit, and I thought this thing was muddy as all hell. But yeah, wow. Completely full right up to the capsule. Hey, Hint to Shrimp evening. Dylan looks like my Uncle Sid right now. He's a professional bowler and a gravedigger.
That's some very eclectic collection of occupations.
Your Uncle Sid sounds super cool. I'm just saying, like, I kind of want to meet Uncle Sid now.
I am
awesome.
honored that you think I look that cool.
Gravedigger, how do you get that job?
Oh,
Dude, is this something you like?
And not just a bowler, a professional bowler.
No. I mean, you're not just a bowler. Nobody's just a bowler. You either like to play it once in a while, or you're a bowler.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah. There's no have never explained that I'm a bowler yet.
But even then, like professional, like I know some people that are into bowling. They don't make money doing it. They do it like three times a week, but they still aren't doing it professionally.
You can make good money at bowling.
Well, you can, but I don't think the vast majority of bowlers make money bowling.
It's amazing. There almost any kind of sport that you play, whether it's bowling. I played 8-ball. I actually got into the professional circuit of 8-ball. And honestly, you can make a lot of money doing that. The guy that trained me was ranked second in the world.
Gravedigger. The Gravedigger. That's going to be a reference now.
That is amazing. Sid's a good uncle and a phenomenal gravedigger. What's a bad gravedigger?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to know, man. What's a
This
bad
hole's only
Gravedigger?
2 feet, Sid. Come on. Yeah,
man.
don't mess with Sid. Never mess
No.
with somebody that actually,
Don't.
yeah.
That will literally dig your grave.
Before, but this is interesting. Anything you can do sporty, like I was an 8-ball player once again. I made decent money at it. The guy who trained me was ranked 2nd in the world. His name was Vince Chambers. He paid his way through university playing pool. Basically, just he would go to tournaments. He would win almost every tournament he was in. And it's the same thing with bowling or anything else that you want to do. You get good enough, man, you can ride that financial wave. You got to be good enough to win more often than not, though.
Well, I mean, it's just like, these guys that are pro gamers and get sponsored. It's the same idea.
That would be.
I mean,
if
you're really awesome at that, then
I
yeah, you
like
could-
to say I'd love to be a pro gamer, but then I realized I don't really want to sit around playing video games all day.
No,
like,
yeah, I'd get antsy after like a week.
Also, that line between being not a pro gamer and being a pro gamer is probably about 20 hours a week of gaming.
Yeah.
Like you have to, and like with anything, if you want to be good enough to make a large amount of money with it, you actually have to do it all the time.
Yeah, you got to do it a ton.
I was playing 35 hours a week pool when I was good at it. Just, you don't, anyways. So yes, clean your microphones. Have you ever run across anything like this with the hair in the microphone there?
No, because I have a no pets in studio firm policy. Like,
Yeah, if you have a cat, you have no choice.
It gets well, no door. Screw it. Close the damn door. Like I'm not in a basement. I have that option of actually just cutting them off.
Yeah, I don't really have that option.
Unless the cat is like an excellent contortionist or something, and can squeeze under that door.
Most
crack.
of them are. I do have to say I've got. You could hear in my last video when I announced the new channel, whatever it is. You could hear the bell of my cat in the background as they were moving around, moving in and out. And I'm like, you know what? I can't even edit it out. I can't wait for the cat to leave. I've got to shoot the video. So,
See, my studio just from dust gets dirty enough as it is. I don't want to have to be untangling hair from the already spaghetti factory problem on the back of both of my racks.
how often do you dust your studio?
Probably about once a month.
Once a month, eh? I'm bad for it. As you can
Well,
tell,
I do it now because now, especially we're in that weird purgatory where it's like almost summer but not really. So the windows are open all day and there's fans blowing all the time. So there's always
Yeah.
dirty air coming in and going all over the place.
yeah, human skin settling on all your stuff. I'm bad. As if you watch the video of me taking apart my keyboard, you will know that I'm really bad for dusting things.
I don't do my keyboard as often as I should. I'll say that right now.
It's like even mine now. It's not to the point where it was, but I need to get like one of those little vacuum cleaners for the
Plus,
keyboard now.
I've got one of those Corsairs that is like brushed. That has a brushed metal top. That brushed metal, for some, I think it's static, is just a magnet for all kinds of gross things.
Yeah, I've got the
Just-
G910, the Logitech
Yeah.
G910, which is great, but it's got a lot of crevices. Those crevices just love the dust. Yeah, let's not even bother getting to that. Did I put it actually into I'm going to put the link to our second story into the comments because it's a Shure article. It's an article that'll allow you to go on Shure's website and it will let you help choose a microphone. And Dylan already did this.
Yeah, did you? You obviously did it.
No, I have not done it yet.
Why have you not done it?
Because I was going to do it live.
It's like 7 questions, 2 of which are irrelevant.
Swipe right to see more artist matches. Take the quiz now. Okay, so this is the
There you
link.
go.
I am going to send over the chat, and y'all can play along, okay? Let me know what you come up with. But this is Shure's way of helping you pick out a microphone. Now, for you, Dylan, did they get it right?
Well, and this is so. I would say, long story short, yes.
Really? What
Yes.
was the microphone you
So-
ended
so-
up with?
So the microphone that they gave to me with the criteria that I tossed at them, which I was being quite
Coy.
critical of, there was the SM27, which is a condenser mic, which
Nice.
for what I specified, I would say is probably accurate. I've never used the SM27, but just because it's a condenser mic and it's one of the only large diaphragm condensers in Shure's lineup, I was like, okay, that's of their arsenal, that's probably a good pick.
I've never. How old is the
I-
SM27?
I said home recording and I said quiet vocals. If they would have said the SM7B, I would have punched them in the face.
Yeah.
Like, stupid idea. Specifically for the quiet vocals thing. The SM7 for home recording is obviously not a bad idea, but if you're doing quiet, subtle little
The
nuancey
nuances.
kind of sounds, then no. So I'd say the SM27 was a good pick, even though I've never used it.
Okay, so everyone, you've got the link. It's in the comments in the live chat. Check the link out. It's shure.com/engb/performance blah, blah, blah. Let us know what microphone you got. I'm going to do mine right now, okay? So let's go into here. Vocals, take the quiz. A mic to record new tracks or a mic to perform live? I guess new tracks is what it is.
I guess one is studio, one is like on stage.
Yeah, so at home, somewhere on the go, or in a professional studio. This is a problem here, Dylan. Now, I don't technically have a professional studio.
So just for sake of difference, I said home.
Okay.
That was so you try on your end just to see what it spits
Yeah,
out.
I'm going to go professional studio.
Yeah.
Loud and powerful. My vocals are actually rather loud and powerful. But I would like the soft and subtle. But because I'm staying true here, loud and powerful.
Once I find my driver's license.
The music and genre that best fits your vocals. Dylan, what are the best music that fits my vocals?
I would say like folk rock, maybe.
Country folk?
Be sure.
Yeah, country folk.
Now,
Yeah,
do the
country.
Pizza,
Yeah.
Do the pizza one.
Imagine you're
pizza
hungry
question.
now and look in your wallet. What sort of meal awaits? Well, based on my, I can do the 3-course dinner.
I have a question for Hinterterm. How the hell did your driver's license get inside your keyboard?
That is weird. Looking inside my gear bag right now, it's a complete mess. It'll find surprises once in a while. It's always organized and tidy.
Metal.
I'm a complete mess. I got the
Yeah.
SM27 too.
Interesting. You said soft and subtle?
No, I said loud.
Oh, I would
Yeah.
have said SM7, especially for the country stuff. I would have said. I mean, it'll work. I don't know.
You think death metal for bangs? I don't know.
I was gonna say you were in a metal band, so that's not.
I was in a hard rock band, not a metal band. We were hard rock.
You would be in a metal band if you could, though. Don't lie.
It depends on the metal. Like, I mean, what is metal? Like for you, what? Find a band. What is a metal band? Name one now.
I don't listen to metal. I know styles. I don't really know bands.
Like
if
I
somebody
look at
mentioned one,
Metallica as being hard rock.
Devin Townsend Project.
Devin Townsend Project.
Yeah,
They're metal.
DTP.
I haven't listened to it.
He's kind of all over the place, but I think he's definitely done a lot of metal, like legit metal stuff.
I honestly don't like. For me, I see metal as being
Norwegian black metal.
yeah, that's metal. Yes. Want to be in a deathcore band with me? No, deathcore doesn't really. My death metal, like, because I used to be one of the original death metal heads back. My first. This is gonna age me. If you ever want to know how old I am, my first concert I ever went to was Sepultura, Sacred Reich, Napalm Death, and Sick of It All in 1991 in Minneapolis at First Avenue, which, if you've ever been to Minneapolis, First Avenue was like the bar that everyone went to for music. The Red Hot Chili Peppers have played there, Kiss, Metallica. The biggest names in music have played at First Avenue. I believe it's closed down by now.
Sad face.
And that concert that I went to, I still remember it's a capacity, I think 700 people, and they sold close to 2,000 tickets for this show. Remember, 1991. Yeah. Anyways, I remember The American Way by Sacred Reich came on, and I looked over at the pool tables, and a good 500 people rushed the mosh pit. And I was right next to the mosh pit. Like, I was about 10 feet away from Andreas Kisser from Sepultura, the guitarist for Sepultura. It was their Arise tour. Wicked first concert. I don't remember much of it. I was quite young at the time, but that was my first ever. I have gotten out of that death metal kind of
Oh, we have 47 years old.
So people are going to guess how old
closer,
I am.
Little closer. I saw 37. I was not going to say anything with it.
People are guessing how old I am. I am not as old as 47. How's that? I know I look at. I'm a shot out version of my age. I get that. Like
you're not that far off from 47. I mean,
friends with George Fisher from Cannibal Corpse. Nice dude. And by friends, we see each other in the grocery store occasionally. Nice.
That's a bud. That's a good bud.
Yeah. I am 43. So that is my age.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know it's a good age. I'm okay with 43. I'm turning 44 this year, but I am not 47 yet. Give it. My eldest brother is turning 48 this year. No, he's turning 49. Oh crap!
He's still guessing. You just said what it is.
Still 44. Yeah, that's basically it. 44 will do. Anyways, yeah. So I moved on. I've gone through phases. I'm a big blues fan. I've been through a country phase. I've been through everything. Right now, Metallica is my favorite band. The through and through. And once again, I don't consider them metal. So no, I don't know if I have a metal voice. I've got more of a Pearl Jam.
Oh yeah, Eddie Vedder
/ Creed. Like if you wanted, when I sing, I actually sound like Scott Stapp from Creed. So, sorry.
My apologies.
Can you both be my dads? Is it legal for two straight dudes who are not in a relationship to adopt a 28-year-old?
Co-parenting vibes.
Kind of more of a not that it's illegal. I think that sounds like more of a sitcom storyline.
Modern Family 2.0.
Two straight dads who adopt a 28-year-old but love him to death. You know, just all the warm and fuzzies. I'm not taking any applications for children. I have at least 3, so.
Plus, I feel like that would be weird because I'm younger than you.
Oh, you're not 28 yet, are you?
No.
How old are you?
That would be I'm 27.
Oh, you're 27. Oh, wow. Man,
child.
We should turn that into kind of the age gap live stream.
The age gap live stream. Almost a decade and a half between us.
Okay, so did anybody in comments, anybody watching actually go to Shure.com to find out what mic they should have and whether or not this actually works? I wanted to see some other examples. So we both got the same thing. We both got the same microphone.
Which is funny because it's the one. Again, for me, Shure is a company. They make dynamic mics. They're really good at that.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer of buy what a company is good at making. Don't go to an Italian restaurant and order a steak. Okay.
Oh, yeah. You go to an Italian restaurant, you order spaghetti.
Exactly.
That's pasta.
Right. Yeah. So I'm the same way with that with audio stuff. So I am curious though. If I ever come across an SM27, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, it's one of those that I want to get. Now, right now, my next big mic test, I want it to be the P120, P220, and P420 all side by side. So I've got to drop, I think it's $200 on the P220 and $300.
Are you going to put the P840 or 820 in
That's
there?
That's a completely different mic.
Well, it's got some additional preamp circuitry.
Yeah, that's a completely different mic. Like that's like apples and oranges of microphones.
But it's still part of the P lineup.
So you've got dynamic, you've got condenser, you've got tube mics, and then
tube condenser,
and then you have ribbon mics.
Well, ribbon mics are just dynamic mics, essentially, just a very niche form of dynamic mic, and then tube mics are just condensers with some additional preamp.
Yeah, but
circuitry.
It's enough to make it completely different from everything else.
Yeah, like I wouldn't measure up like a Royer with a Shure SM7B or like a Coles, what is it, the 4038?
Yeah, like if you put a ribbon and a dynamic mic side by side, they're going to be two completely different microphones.
Yeah.
Like completely different.
Not. And if they're not, one is defective because they should sound very different.
So I'm actually thinking, and this is where I'm a little concerned, I'm going to pick up the 220 and the 420, and they're going to basically sound the same. I'm concerned about that.
Probably.
Because
that's very likely. Now, the 420 does have some more onboard control.
So does the 220. The 220 actually allows you to choose a pad. and
Like a different sort of different stage pads.
yeah, roll off. You've got stuff like that, which is fine. And I do notice if you look at the specs of all three, the noise level, the EIN on it goes down by 1 dB per. So you've got like, I think it's 19 dB on the 120, 18 dB on the 220, 17 dB on the 420. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of one of those like, is that all it is? Is maybe they have some cleaner caps on it? It's obvious.
I think the 420 actually does have an adjustable polar pattern. One of them
That
does.
might, yeah, but polar pattern, that just means there's extra, I don't know. It's going to be the same capsule for all three.
Oh, hey, Hintership got the 58.
Oh, you got the 58. That's the first.
If you ticked off live, like I don't really think it
Yeah.
matters what thing you after you check off live. As soon as you
It's
get live, they're like, "Yep, 58, 58."
Yeah, and well, and I,
58.
like you chose home, I chose professional studio, and it's still saying the Shure SM27.
I chose one not necessarily to cater to me, but I was going off of okay, if somebody came to me with these pieces of information, and then I had in my head this is what I would recommend for them to use. Let's see what Shure would recommend for them to use.
See, now I would like to see something like this, not through Shure, but through an actual just a
Like Sweetwater or something.
like Sweetwater. That would be amazing. Like see Sweetwater actually.
You know
put
what?
you through.
Actually, they probably have, or either Sweetwater or Vintage King Audio. I'm sure one of them has to have done some kind of test like that.
The amount of mics that are out there, you couldn't like. I mean, the amount of mics.
Yeah, I agree
alone.
I agree with Bangs. Beta 58 is awesome.
Yeah, and if you don't want low end, I want to get the Beta 58, but I'm also like, I'm getting frustrated with the amount of handhelds I'm getting. I'm literally like overwhelmed.
It is a good mic. I remember when I first bought, I have one, and I remember when I had gotten it just to do an A/B with the 58. I said, because their marketing is also precision manufacturing, and there's a couple small technical differences, but I was like, it's not gonna be that. But then actually A/Bing them was like, wow, these are actually vastly different. Like for the fact that they're basically similar tech.
Let's say I go ahead and buy a Beta 58.
You're really having a problem with that beta word.
I'm really tired. I don't think I can stress that enough. What am I using the Beta 58 for, Dylan? As he walks away, amazing ambient rejection. You know what? That is definitely worthwhile for a microphone. Oh, he went to get the Beta.
Yeah.
All right. So
they do have a very different capsule design. As
yeah,
well,
it's not the Unidyne.
The capsule, the cartridge. They have a very different cartridge design.
It's not the Unidyne, is it?
The big nub in the middle. I don't think so. I don't actually know this. Back when I bought this, I didn't really care about the specs, so I have no idea. It's of the same family, guaranteed, but
right.
It's still a different cartridge.
Once again, I buy the Beta 58. What am I using it for? Other than a review.
You mean vocals, obviously.
Yeah, I guess.
I've also used it because of its polar pattern is different than the.
Isn't it a super cardioid?
Hyper.
It's a hyper cardioid. Oh, cool.
I believe.
Maybe I'll get it just to be able to.
Correct me on that if I'm wrong off the top of my head.
Maybe I'll get it just to do the difference between a super cardioid and a hyper cardioid.
It does. The pneumatic sort of shock absorption of the 58A, like handling noise and shit, is minimal compared to the 58.
Yeah. No, and that the 58,
the SM58, they're all 58s.
The SM58 doesn't have bad handling. Like
it's
a lot
not
of people.
bad, but there still is an improvement. Which again, if you've got it mounted on a stand, isn't very. I have used the Beta 58 on like the underside of a snare drum, and I found that isolation did actually help it. If I've got a stand that doesn't have any kind of it's right beside the kick drum.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that comes in very handy.
Yeah, I'll look into it. I do want to do. Oh, it's a super cardioid. Then I've got to run around with a cape again. I don't know. That's gonna be painful.
Super duper.
Super duper duper duper. I'm going to step away from handhelds for a little bit. I've been doing a lot of handheld videos. I would like to get a few more condensers. The P series, the AKG Perception series, I would really like to start to get all those put together. because what the P120 brings to the table is phenomenal for its price, and the 220 is not much more. Like it's really not much more expensive.
Yeah, I
But-
have to agree. This just on Bangs' comment there. This the grill on the 58. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's supposed to be
I am
soft.
so careful with these things, and over the years I've still found I've never dropped this, and somehow it does have a little bit of deforming in it, whereas the Beta.
But that's actually meant to. That's part of its shock absorption is the grill. Like the grill's supposed to crumple a little bit. Who's got a bigger head?
Actually, I think they're pretty much.
The
Identical.
48 has a slightly
The-
bigger head than the 58. I found out.
Yeah, they're basically identical. Just this one has the nice little blue Beta ring around it, which is kind of nice.
Any
Yeah.
tips for getting rid of room noise? With Metal Vox, you have to compress the living hell out of them, so the room noise is terrible. Best way is better preamps. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times room noise isn't actually room noise. It's
Well, it depends. I mean, is there an air conditioner? Like, what's in your room?
yeah, that's the other thing. Like, there's some people when they're recording, and I used to do this at my old house. You would unplug your fridge. You would unplug. I would turn my furnace off. I would turn everything off in my house that made any sound, because if you crank up, you can hear it. And actually, in my last video, you can see it right behind me. There's a little white grill here. That's the furnace. Like that's the air duct. So I get sound from that if I don't turn the furnace off. So a lot of it is literally just making sure everything that is running isn't running. So whatever you got to unplug. If you've got a chest freezer, those are brutal. Chest freezers, you'll get that hum off the compressor all the time.
So my fridge is on the other side of the building, so I don't really need to care about my fridge.
Yeah, no, mine's upstairs. This house here, the only thing I got to worry about is this little vent right here. And I actually do, when I need it to be super quiet, I'll turn off the furnace for this.
You don't necessarily, sort of hint to Shrimp's comment there, you don't necessarily need a new interface. I mean, you can get an outboard preamp that's just a really kick-ass preamp. Yeah, it'll still cost you an arm and a leg, but if you're comfortable with the interface, and you go into the line inputs of the UMC22, I don't know what that is.
I shock mounted my fridge.
I know the UR22 is the Steinberg one. The UM, what the hell is the UM?
That's a Behringer. UMC22 is the Behringer.
Okay, no, yeah, get a new interface.
Yeah.
Ignore everything I just said.
I had somebody actually message me on the channel saying, "Hey, what do you think of this Behringer condenser microphone?" I'm like, "Don't buy it." And this is like, I don't even have to plug the bloody thing in. I'm sorry. I don't test Behringer stuff on the channel. They have never met a standard for me. But while the X32 may be a standard above everything else for some things.
Well, but the thing is, the X32 really, it's renowned because of the Midas Prees. That's why people, and the S16 Snakehead. That's really, my default, if I haven't used the Behringer product and had a good experience with it, my default is don't buy it. If I have used it and it works well, like the X32, which works amazing, then I will recommend it. But because the brand...
I've never had a Behringer that I've liked. And this even goes with the Behringer XM8500. Everybody's like, these are amazing mics. I don't really like the sound of it. On my voice, I don't like the Behringer XM8500.
Yeah, so UMC's got 23 dB, but so do a lot of interfaces. I mean, a lot of interfaces usually between 45 and 50, which for condenser mics is fine, assuming you're not recording mosquitoes farting. But I think, interfaces are not designed with, these guys in mind these days, which is unfortunate because that's, but it's cheaper, and it's one of the reasons they can knock the price tag down to a couple $100.
Yeah, hint to Shrimp. You're running an SM58 if I recall. So you're going to need more. So you're not boosting it up to 10. If you looked at the Scarlett video that I put out, did I put that Scarlett video out? Scarlett Solo?
Scarlett, I thought you did.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Wow. I'm that tired.
Brain fart.
The Scarlett, you'll see when you go from 90 to 100, the difference is immense with the sound of the preamps. Like just it's that last little bit of a turn on the knob, and it's noise everywhere. And while you can run an SM7B with that, it's not going to be a quiet SM7B. So,
Telefunken. Jesus.
M80 Telefunken. It's the same thing. That's the one. Remember, that's the handheld Telefunken.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. It's going to be gain hungry. It's a dynamic mic.
Yeah.
Is the MV7 a good choice for a gaming streamer? Welcome to the stream, Sajin688. I knew your brother, Sajin687. He's a nice guy. Yeah.
Good lad.
Your neighbor was Sajin686. Yes, an MV7 is actually a decent choice for a gaming streamer. That said, it's
That's about all it's good for.
it's a lot of money. Like make
And
sure
it is, yeah.
Make sure you have. That was his dad. Thanks, Jay Steve. Also, Jay Steve, welcome to the stream. The MB7's a lot of money for what you get. It's probably one of the best USB mics on the market. So just make sure you want to spend the money on it.
Yeah. Whatever you do, don't go and watch that. What was that video that we ripped a couple weeks ago?
Which
Talking
one?
about gaming mics, the one that had the 3 mics.
Oh, that. Oh God, the IGN. IGN gaming mic.
Don't use that as a reference point.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and this is the one thing what Bangs Naughty Bits just said. MV7 is fine, especially for streamers, but it's not an SM7B, and the XLR outs suck. I much prefer the sound of it on USB.
It is a lot brighter, but not in like a flattering way. I found like it's not. It's very. There's a lot of presence to it, but in a very kind of in a painful way. I'm not a fan.
Unusual Audio says if you're screaming into the mic, no way there's any preamp noise in your recording. If you have noise during silent parts, try an expander. Actually, you can have preamp noise if you're screaming into a dynamic that requires every amount of gain from the board you're plugged into. So yeah, and not all heavy metal requires screaming, to be fair.
I've heard some very operatic metal.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Best USB on the market is the Micros. Micros? And is micro USB. Yeah, I know micro USB drives me absolutely nuts. I don't know why. There must be like an extra tax on the USB-C. It's just starting to become synonymous with USB now as USB-C. How anything can be released in 2021 with USB micro is like beyond me. I don't know. It's disgusting. It's only during quiet parts I'm dealing with having to cut out all the dead air in Reaper.
Well, again, just use a gate. Like not in recording, but like in post, use an expander or a gate. Like I have one of those on anyway, just because it just
you got to be gentle with that, especially if you do have room tone. If you have a noisy room with a gate, it's going to be
it's going to be very noticeable.
It's sonically jarring.
Yeah, you should. Well, and it depends also if is something cold voice. Like in a context of a commercial, I can generally get away with having, like if there's a bed behind it, I can get away with having some dropouts of some room tone. But if it's something like an audiobook, no.
No. Yeah, so
that's not gonna happen.
Singing, you'll be fine if you've got music behind you. And yes, I understand you have to compress the shit out of it. You don't really have to. There are other tricks, especially with EQ, that will bring your voice, kind of elevate your voice on top of the music.
Yeah, I think still the voice is one of the most dynamic instruments out there. So I think generally with a voice, you need some form of dynamic control, even light compression. You need something.
Yeah, but you don't have to compress the shit out of it.
No. I depending on the application, but I don't think I have ever had a voice treated without any kind of compression, unless it's like a live situation and I physically don't have a compressor with me.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like the difference between a little bit of compression and compressing the shit out of
and brick wall, yeah.
Yeah, that's
to 1. A ratio set to 100 to 1 and a threshold of like, negative 85 dBFS.
Sausage audio.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, a mild expander will help. But once again, there's a very fine line with expanders between creating this a very, very odd sonic experience that takes you out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you also have to be. I usually try to look for words that end in like some kind of a solid plosive or something like like stop, and try to see if the P gets cut off and it just sounds like sta.
Yeah,
right. You got to really hone in on that threshold and make sure it's set right where it needs to be set to.
The compression issue is with extremely distorted screaming and growling. I would say if your screaming and growling is distorted, you need to gain down. And you may have to have a dynamic gain while singing. So you would want to make sure that If you're going from a clean, so a lot of metal singers will sing their clean stuff first, and then a lot of their screaming or their growl will come at a different dB.
Yeah.
And then when you can mix it together.
And there's no shame in, and this is something that's very frequently done in sort of the A-list circuit, is process, if you have different attributes to the same vocal track, make 2 vocal tracks, process them separately. Like I know one guy that literally, with some artists, he will cut out all the S's, bring the S's down to another vocal track.
I saw that.
And process them by themselves. And I'm not that pedantic. I do generally go in and adjust the S's manually because I don't trust the S'ers. But I think if you've really got someone with it, I mean, if I had a singer or a vocalist or a VO person with a really whistly S, I might do it. But exactly. There's some people I work with that do that, but
mine's pretty bad. I don't know how my S's are so bad. It's probably a bridge I have right up front, but my S's drive me absolutely crazy when I'm in post.
They don't sound too bad right now. They're definitely there.
Yeah,
they're definitely in my ear.
Well, when you go in and you're mixing your own voice, certain things will start to really chip away.
Oh yeah, I know.
And so I'm like, oh man, I'm doing like
I always hone in on those nasally frequencies, like 150 to 250 hertz, and I'm just like, just die.
Yeah. So there's a plugin specifically for this called Gain Reduction by Joey Sturgis. If there's a plugin for it, try it out. Like there's probably metal plugins for metal singers that will really probably do you some good. Just any kind of work that you're doing on your audio, nothing is ever extreme. Never take an extreme.
Unless you're making like an effect, like that's what your purpose is. It's kind of like pitch correction. I mean, the best edit for pitch correction is one that you can't hear.
I trust you guys, but you should look up some videos on metal vocal mixing. They tell you to crush the fuck out of it. I would say this: who's telling you to crush it? Is it actually people that produce
other than Aiden telling you to crush the like button?
Destroy the like button. If you're doing screamo and you're trying to get a specific vibe for one specific style of scream, everything's going to be different person to person. Voice to voice is all going to have different types of compression. But it's also, what type of compression are you using? Are you using tube compression?
Yeah, well, and so here's another problem with the idea of crushing it, is that world where every song gets squeezed to the max in mixing / mastering is going away, because now all the streaming platforms are normalizing all of your shit to like -18.
Yeah.
So the loudness to -18. So if your track comes in and it's got a loudness of like -1, then your stuff is gonna sound really quiet on the streaming platform. So I have seen, and I mixed a metal EP last year, and we came to the table with something that was really, really hot that had a loudness that was, I think, neg 6, neg 8 on average, and sent it to Spotify. And what came out was like, wow, okay, that needs to come up. What the hell is going on? And that's when,
yeah.
So
there's a ton of stuff that goes into it, not just some guy saying, you gotta crush the hell out of it with compression, because there's not just one type of compression. There's multiple ways of compressing different frequencies. There's a ton of stuff that comes out of...
Plus, here's another problem, another consideration with crushing it. So with metal, you're dealing with electric guitars, which are naturally not very dynamic. They're distorted electric guitars, meaning they're less dynamic. They're compressed distorted electric guitars, meaning they're even less dynamic. If you squeeze your vocal on top of all these other things that are already squeezed to the max, basically, your vocal is kind of just it's not gonna stick out at all.
Yeah.
So if anything, I would say crush it. Maybe do some parallel compression so that the transients still jump out. You know, doing parallel compression would be something I would experiment with. But yeah, I don't know.
And honestly, like if this is a factor where you're like, but you know what, guys? No, this is too niche. Go check out some actual. Like go to a place where they record it. Like here in Toronto, it's Metalworks, where they have actual producers that do this stuff for a living, and they they produce metal. Actually, one of my a girl I went to school with in
Actually, they do a lot
grade
of different stuff at
yeah,
Metalworks.
and they'll show you what the kind of stuff that you're gonna.
I'm pretty sure Prince actually did his musicology album at Metalworks.
Really, that's cool. But yeah, anyways, they're going to be the ones that are going to tell you how to run that stuff and how to do that stuff. And if you think that it's too niche for us, and that's fair, neither of us are mixing metal albums right now, especially the type of metal you're talking about, which isn't just metal; it's actually dark, death, all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
so,
high energy
black.
metal.
Well, no, usually it's pretty chuggy. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to did you put anything on that list, by the way?
Nope.
Oh. Thanks.
I do have something in my head. But no, or I would suggest a little plug for Glenn. Go check out Glenn Fricker's YouTube channel where he talks about Glenn's awesome. I've chatted with him once or twice. He knows what he's doing. He does metal like 24 hours a day.
All right.
Basically, 7 days a week. SMG, Spectre Sound, I think is his channel, Spectre Music Group. No, Glenn's knowledgeable. He knows what he's doing.
Here's one from Bangs. This is an interesting one. I broke the latch on my Rolls MS-111 XLR mute switch. I still want to get one of those. Any suggestions to replace it? I like knowing off is off. If I recall, the Rolls MS-111 is only about $100 US.
I mean, if you had the time making one, probably wouldn't be that hard. But
no, depends, because you got to remember anything you put in the chain is going to create possible noise, right? So
yeah, but I mean, it's a switch. Switches are generally pretty
the
straightforward.
Rolls MS-111 is well known, and it's also the kind of got that you smack it to turn it off. It's quite nice. They're $50. Yeah, I would. You know what?
For a switch, that's kind of ridiculous.
No, they're well known as being one of the best mutes for podcasters, broadcasters, all that stuff. We had one at our Brockville station with Bob. I would say what I would do personally, I don't have the concern with $50 being a problem. I would buy another one and try to fix the old one. And if I can get the old one fixed in the amount of time it takes me before the 30-day return, I would return the new one. That's the kind of stuff I like to do, man. Amazon's great for that stuff. But when you say broke the latch on it, is that like?
I'm assuming like where the plugs into the.
Oh.
Yeah, like
just
the
buy
cable
a new one.
latch,
Buy
like
a
the
new
XLR
one.
latch.
Yeah, I would. You just buy a new one at that point.
I mean, if the connector comes off, you can get new XLR connectors off of, as somebody said, DigiKey here.
Yeah, pretty cheap.
Yeah, XLR connectors are not expensive. I have done that though on one of my DMX like lighting dimmer consoles. Same thing happened, and I just replaced the connector.
Yeah, it's I like playing with that stuff to try to fix it. But if you're working on, I really want one for doing my morning show, so I can turn my mic off while my guy's doing the news and stuff. So it's not me in the background breathing heavy while I drink my coffee, then slurping on coffee. Oh, the Rolls switches are phenomenal. The old button up and down latching toggle. Oh, that thing.
Oh,
so
that
that's
latch.
part of the actual switch. Yeah. I don't know if you can MacGyver that. Like I haven't taken a Rolls apart, so that sounds like it's probably going to be that sounds like it's just going to be a replacement. So, sorry, thanks. Very, very cool though. What do you use it for? Are you a podcaster, or are you just like that has a lot of really cool. You can use it as almost like a talkback button.
I'm looking at it, a little blue box.
Yeah, they're great.
I only Rolls thing I have is I have a little tuner, an AM/FM tuner that I use for work, and it's. I mean, you didn't think they could make a tuner any better than they already did, but it's actually substantially flexible and nice little package.
So the Rolls works fine if I just hold the button. That sounds like a real pain in the arse. Like having to sit there holding the button down while you talk and release it.
Duct tape.
Yeah, I guess duct tape might. Well, yeah. I guess kind of. There's probably you'd have to take it apart to find out like what you can kind of replace in there, and they might actually have the mechanism for sale, but doubtful.
So it basically operates like a cough switch right now, kind of where you gotta hold it or not hold it. It's the inverse, I guess, the inverse of a cough switch.
Well, you can actually program them to go either way. So can have it. You can have them. I know I think it's the 111 that you can program so it's a push to talk or it's a push to mute.
So I guess in engineering speak, having it set instead of normally open, you have it normally closed, and then when you press the button, it literally would be like a cough switch. Neither one of them are optimal, but at least I think the second one, normally closed, would be a lot more useful.
Yeah, for podcast streaming, there's a switch to toggle the behavior to mute or unmute. Yeah, that's the one that we had at the station there, and fantastic. A little wire or spring internal that broke off.
Probably.
Oh man, I would really want to get my hands on it to be able to see if I can fix that. Because there's probably a way if you're good at like taking things apart and just kind of MacGyvering it together. There are a bunch of ways you can do that kind of stuff. But if you don't have the tools or you don't have the interest, and saving $50 isn't that important to you.
Yeah.
Buy a new one. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Decent turnout today there, Dylan.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah,
the one day I decide to jump into the comments and actually pay attention to what's happening.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do that. Unusual Audio retracted their message. I want to know what that's about. I didn't know you can retract your message on YouTube.
I did read it, but there's been so many messages I forgot which one that was. But clearly it's not important now, I guess.
Oh, guys, appreciate you joining. This is actually one that we're actually on time for. That's pretty impressive there, Dylan. Hey, and you.
I was. You weren't.
You don't look as much like Trevor today. I think we're gonna have to.
It's the button down. That's the.
Can we work on the GTA Trevor look for next week?
Work on the Trevor look.
Show up in your tighty whities. Do you have tighty whities?
I don't know, actually. Maybe from like a throwback era.
If they have holes in them, even better. Better. I gave a wrong tip about the rolls. Oh,
all good. We give wrong tips about everything.
yeah. Join the club.
That's pretty much the brand, the channel brand.
I will remove the message.
Okay.
You removed a message, Bangs? All right. I'm getting confused. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm very confused.
Hey, Ken, thanks for watching. Thanks, everyone that joined in. Got a few new names there. J. Steve Arcio, I think it is.
Arcio.
Unusual Audio, thanks for showing up. There was one other, I think. Sajin, 688.
Yes. Yeah.
And Sajin's dad, 687.
7. And neighbor, 686.
Neighbor 686. And the usual, we got Bangs, got Hint of Shrimp, Ken. Zengrix is another new one.
Yes.
I forgot about that. Zengrix. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for chatting and spending the hour with us. You've been watching forever and you just started talking now, Unusual Audio. Come on.
Come on. Engage.
Oh, you ordered it. Good. Let me know how it is. Hey, maybe you can send me the other one. I'll see if I can fix it for you. Anyways, I just like to fix things. Anyways.
Yeah, we're tinkerers on here. We like tinkering.
All right, guys, have yourselves a great weekend and new video coming up Monday, and I'm going to go to sleep now. So have a good night, boys.